everyone, it's Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. This video is my most recent customs batch from L3. If you watched my video I filmed last night, as promised, today I'm doing my customs. And it's just ironic that I have been called up for customs again. I know I put my name on the list too close to each other, but hey, you know, it's a good thing. Good thing. Okay. L3, owned by Jennifer Westing from Junction City, Oregon. I've had this order for a while, a couple of weeks, I think. I went out of town last weekend. This week I didn't have a chance to film, and today I had a busy day. I went to a viewing with my husband this morning, and huge, just huge, ginormous viewing. And then we went to Costco on a Saturday, which I will never do again. It's been years since I've been in Costco for another story, another day. Nothing bad, just annoyance, really. And we went in there, and it was just too many people for me. If you think Walmart's bad, try Costco on a Saturday. No, we are Sunday shoppers in those types of membership stores. So, and then we came home. I put all of our groceries away. We got a lot of fruits and vegetables and, you know, things like that. And then came upstairs, and I took a small nap. So if my makeup looks like a hot mess, that's because I took a nap. So, okay. I had a lot of fun with this next batch of customs. So I got 26 blends, 25 loaves, and one doggy bag. Why I went with loaves this time is because, first of all, why not? Second of all, even though the convenience, I love the bags, and I'm going to get a great mix of bags and loaves in this next batch of customs, which I'm finalizing this weekend. I really like just having the amount that a loaf gives me. And sometimes, you know, some of these blends, I really frankly get tired of them at the end of a loaf. So up until this, you know, L3 closing, and, you know, me being obsessed with L3 and addicted to it and all that stuff, I really have not been buying loaves, just because I really like the smaller shapes. I love tubs. Tubs are probably my favorite because it's in between a souffle and a loaf. And tubs, I mean, several vendors offer tubs. The big names do. I'm a tub person. I don't mind chopping wax. I love chopping and chatting with you guys, and it's just, I like that Jen gave us the option to have a loaf for custom, because there's some of these that I'm getting that are, you know, some of these are repurchases from my first batch of customs that I filmed a couple of months ago, I think. And some of these are repurchases, some of these are blends I've had before and I just absolutely love, and some of these are just brand new brainchildren of mine. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. No further no particular order. Okay. I have a couple of loaves in here that, just for storage purposes, they aren't customs, so I will do those at the end if I choose to do them. I might just keep this. My customs. So this first one, I got a loaf. Let me see here. Of just mint Oreo pie. This is not a custom by any means. This is Jen's blend. I don't know if it's a blend of a couple of oils or if it's a single oil. I don't know. But mint Oreo pie, it's been around for a while. And this past Pie Day back in March, I bought a pie of mint Oreo pie. And I smelled it and I thought, my goodness, for a chocolate blend and mint together, it is the perfect. This reminds me of mint chocolate chip ice cream, but it doesn't have the creaminess that ice cream has. You know, I really love this, and I'm so happy that she was able to pour this, because, you know, sometimes there's been a couple of tweaks that she had to make on my list just because of some of the oils and such, which, you know, we're getting to that time now. So if you're due for customs either now or a long time from now, have a lot of backup blends just in case. So the mint Oreo pie, I thought, well, what if they used it all for Pie Day or blah blah blah, but no, I got my mint Oreo pie. So this, I explained that one already. It's fantastic. This next one is Dreamweaver. I think is this part of my customs? I don't remember if I got, no, it's not. I did my RTS video last night, and honestly, these loaves should have been in there, but, you know, it is what it is. So, okay, I'll do that one last. This next one is How Can I Fall? I named this How Can I Fall? First of all, because it's Season of the Witch, which is apples and leaves, blended with hay and dirt. Hay and dirt. What I was going for is the beautiful fall vibe that Season of the Witch gives us. That's one of the best fall blends in my opinion. And these custom lists, I've been doing some fall blends and some things I blend in the cooler weather. Jen does apple very, very well, in my opinion, and I really like her leaves oil. It's really, really good too. And I love my hay and I love my dirt. So I think Ember posted yesterday in the L3 Facebook group complimenting me on this scent because it makes her feel like she's in a hayfield on Halloween. And that's what I was going for with this blend. I was going for a kind of a damp, spooky, just outdoors, in the hay, playing around with some apples and just that fall, you know, kind of what it's kind of what I would imagine the scarecrow from Wizard of Oz smells like with apples. You know what I mean? So why name this How Can I Fall? Well, first of all, play on the season of what this blend is, what I bought this one for. And there's a song, How Can I Fall? And I love the 90s music. I listen to 90s all the time. Our trip last weekend up to Yellowstone, 90s on 9 in the car. 90% of the time. I love my 90s music. I do. There's something with the 90s. It just hits different, in my opinion. Okay. Next. This one. This is Grassy Pants. So Grassy Pants is originally my customer creation that Jen picked to become a house blend. Grassy Pants is, even if this wasn't my creation, I would love the hell out of this blend. Because it is everything that I love all in one. It's strawberry, fresh cut grass, sweet lavender, and watermelon. This is really watermelon and grass and strawberry. I'm not getting too much of the lavender. When this warms up though, you can smell a little bit of that lavender in here. But this is just a beautiful summer fragrance. It's got the grass and it's got strawberry, watermelon, everything that's beautiful about summertime. Grassy Pants. And I thought, you know, I gotta get Grassy Pants because it's Grassy Pants season. So, Grassy Pants. Okay. Next one. I named this one Be Real, Not Perfect. That's what I've been saying. That's how I've been living my life the last several months. Honing in on 40 years old, I am just reaching a newfound more comfort and clarity and love for myself. So I am, you know, I'm a real person. I'm not perfect and life isn't. So I don't want to try to be. This is Marshmallow Fireside, Roasted Pine Cones, Pine, and Salty Sea Air. This one, I'm pretty sure that this was another vendor's blend that I didn't participate in the pre-order. If I'm thinking correctly, this was those oils I saw that I'm like, oh, you know, I'll see what Jen can do with these ones. And if you know me, you know I love my pine cone. There's quite a few pine cone blends in here. I really like this. You really get, I like that the pine and the pine cone, they kind of blend together beautifully. And it's not too much pine. You still keep the integrity of the roasted pine cones. So this one, it's roasted pine cones, a little bit of pine, maybe just a little bit of that smoky sweetness from the Marshmallow Fireside, and a little bit of clean and fresh from the Salty Sea Air. I am happy about this blend. This is a blend I'm going to melt in late summer when the nights are starting to cool down as it segues into fall. So that's Be Real, Not Perfect. This next one. Okay. I actually talked about this blend last night in my Ready to Ship video because I had bought a matrix melt of it. This is called Breeding Hill. And Breeding Hill, behind the name, Breeding Hill is where my father lives. When my mother and father, we moved from South Carolina up to Pennsylvania because of things with my father's position at his work. He worked for the naval shipyard. It closed. So they had to decide, do they stay there and have my dad change departments or stay in the same department, same tract, and move back up to Pennsylvania. So Pennsylvania was the decision. I wish they would have stayed in South Carolina, but I was too young. I was 9, so my opinion didn't really matter to them. So they couldn't find a house that was what my mother wanted, my father wanted, and had enough land for my father's horses and soon to have cattle. And, I grew up in the country. My dad is not a city boy. So the land that my father found, it was actually a whole entire farm that was up for sale. Farm with cattle, dairy stuff, just a whole big, massive farm. And he didn't want that because my dad was not retired at the time. And plus, if you're not a dairy farmer, there's a science and art behind it. He had to really work on the owner to just sell him a lot of land. So anyways, where I'm going with this is that farm was called the Breeding Farm, and it was on a hill. It's on a big giant hill. So Breeding Hill. That's the name of the street. When we lived there, though, half of the time we lived there, it was still a rural route. There wasn't a street address, and they did that for 911 implementation and all sorts of stuff. So that's where Breeding Hill comes from, because it's not a name that's in any sort of famous culture or entertainment or anywhere. So I like to tell you guys the reason behind my names. So this one, what I was going for with this is lavender cream, herbal lavender, riverstone, roasted pine cones, and marshmallow fireside. A second pine cone blend. I'm just pulling this one out just to showcase this beautiful purple loaf. I mean, this is absolutely gorgeous. I love this. So what I smell in this one, I'm getting that beautiful lavender cream. And this lavender cream, I'm pretty sure, yes, lavender cream, I thought so yesterday. Lavender cream is what's in Dreamweaver. So it's the same lavender. If you like that lavender cream is the lavender that you want in whatever blend you request or put on your customs list. I love lavender cream. So I chose to put a little bit of extra herbal lavender in it because my husband likes herbal lavender. Even though to my nose, the sweet lavender and the herbal lavender of Jen's are pretty linear. There isn't much difference between them. The Riverstone I wanted to add for... And like I talked yesterday, I really went back and forth in this blend. I had sea salt in there. I had salt de mer. I had sea minerals. I didn't know what to put in there, so it wasn't just pine cone and lavender. Even though pine cone and lavender is beautiful, I wanted a little bit something extra. And so why I named this Breeding Hill was after I put Riverstone in there. And Riverstone is such a smooth, calm, mineral-esque blend. I think it's a single oil, honestly, and it's just something that speaks to me. It makes me feel like I am in Pennsylvania on my dad's farm. It really does, and it takes me there. And at the viewing today, we didn't stay for the funeral because it was a massive. He was an orthopedic surgeon. His wife is huge in this community, and it was just a lot of people. And I didn't want to stay because let somebody else have our 2 seats that were more close to him. You know what I mean. Their home is in a gated community in Provo, Utah, and the Provo River, which flows down from the mountains from Park City and etc. It's right behind their home. And we sat there for such a long time and just listening to the water. I love the sound of flowing water in a river. And the snow is melting up in the mountains, so the water's pretty high right now, and it's gushing, and it's just so relaxing to me. The earth and the nature is my temple. That's where I feel my creator. That's just me. And so why I say that is my dad has a creek that runs through his property. And when it rains and the water's high, you can hear it all the way from our house. And I would open my windows and just listen to the water. So Riverstone reminds me of just that place, that home. So that's why I wanted to put that in there, because I was feeling like lavender is such a fantastic oil. It can relax you, it can pep you up, it can just be something to warm when you don't know what to warm. And the pine cones is just, I'm having a pine cone moment. It's such a fantastic oil. And then Marshmallow Fireside is for that sweet smokiness. So that's Breeding Hill. Okay. Next, this is a blend that I actually, I think I had this one last time in my customs, but I tweaked one of the oils in it. This I named Some Like It Hot. Some Like It Hot is one of my favorite movies. It has Cary Grant and Jack Lemmon, and they star as Daphne, and I can't remember I can't remember Cary Grant's character, but it is absolutely hilarious. And Marilyn Monroe is in it, and I love Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe is my favorite old Hollywood actress. I just connect with her naturally, even though I wasn't alive when she was alive. I used to have in my kitchen, I used to have a huge painting of Marilyn Monroe, but my cat knocked it down because there was a fly on it at one point, and she ripped it off the wall. So I haven't put it back up. Marilyn Monroe. And Some Like It Hot is about the two guys. They're musicians and they really need a gig. And so it's a there's different parts of the story, but Some Like It Hot, it's so funny to me. It's one of the best movies of all time, in my opinion. Some Like It Hot. This is coffee bean, brown sugar, pecan pie, vanilla pound cake, and zucchini bread. So I got one of these similar last time, except I don't think I had the pecan pie in it. I had something else. This is phenomenal, fantastic. I always have to, this is a beautiful tan loaf. I always have to have a coffee blend or two in my customs. I love coffee. I love coffee blends. And coffee with pecan pound cake is just beautiful. So what's really strong in here, you can smell the coffee, you can smell that beautiful vanilla pound cake, you can get the zucchini bread, and a little bit of that pecan. This is gorgeous, scrumptious, delicious, fattening. So, next, we have, it's getting dark outside, looks like it might start to rain at the natural light. I still have my window open. This one I called Zippity Doo-Dah. Zippity Doo-Dah, Zippity-A. Ginger lime, lemon lime, ginger ale. So this was a last minute addition to my list because I thought, forgot about Jen's ginger lime and her ginger ale. If you like fizzy pop, if you like ginger and lime, try a ginger ale blend. Really, just do yourself a favor. Ice cold lemon lime ginger ale, I think, has been a blend in the past. And this one is, this is just, it's bright. It's fresh, it's effervescent, it's bubbly, it's ginger ale, and not Sprite, because Sprite is too sweet, but just lemon and lime and ginger play so well together. This is going to be a bright, bubbly blend when I just want to smell something that's bright and fresh to cheer me up, or to brighten up the weather, or just any old time. Zippity Doo-Dah, because sometimes pop and soda can be zippy. That's why I named it that. Okay. Next one. Oh, this one. This is the one I had before. That coffee bean one I just talked about is that's a different coffee blend. This one right here, Beer Barrel Polka, this is one that I had last time. The only difference is I changed a note, and I had in it before. This is coffee bean, spiced oat milk, cream cheese frosting, um, Italian wedding cake, and cinnamon bread pudding. And before, I can't remember what note I had it in it before, but I saw that Jen had Italian pignoli cookies. So I originally had that in this blend, but then she told me that, they're out of that oil or it's missing. They can't find it. So she substituted Italian wedding cookies, which was fine with me. So this one is one I had last time, except I tweaked that cookie note I had. I can't remember what I had before, but this blend, I loved so much last time, I had to buy it again this time because it's a fantastic, scrumptious coffee blend. And what I'm getting with this is you get the spiced oat milk. I mean, Cafe Cubano spiced oat milk is a fantastic blend. It's delicious, beautiful, perfect, just enough spice. But oat milk by itself, you still have the integrity of that spice and that cream. So that's why I chose to blend it with coffee bean. I love coffee bean. It's my personal favorite coffee oil. Cream cheese frosting always creams it up, makes it rich and fattening. And the Italian wedding cookies, I haven't smelled that alone, but I trust Jen enough to know that that's a good substitution. She's not going to give me something that absolutely stinks in that department. That cookie is in there, and then cinnamon bread pudding gives an extra bump of cinnamon to accent that oat milk. So this one is, I love this one. It's a repeat purchase, except for that one note, like I said. And Beer Barrel Polka. A little bit about me. On my father's side, I am Russian-Ukrainian, actually. And polka is a huge part of my dad's heritage and his side of the family. I had a polka at my wedding. I had to. And Beer Barrel Polka, my favorite rendition of it on YouTube is Lawrence Welk from the 70s, or maybe even the 80s. But Lawrence Welk was a polka player, and he had the Lawrence Welk show. It was on PBS, and my mom, when she was growing up, watched it, and she hates Lawrence Welk because her parents, Saturday night, made them watch Lawrence Welk. But now me, I love Lawrence Welk and the bubbles and all of that cheesy stuff. But Beer Barrel Polka, they do a great, the accordion and the dancing, and I love that one. And I have it on my liked videos on YouTube, and I play it at least once or twice a week. I love it. I drive Marty nuts when I play my polka music, but he's used to it now. He just grumbles about it. Okay. This next one is Bowser. Why I named this one Bowser, I'll tell you. The notes of this is Fuji apple, glazed donut, cinnamon sugar, waffle cone, and vanilla cookies. So, why I named this one Bowser is this is trying to be a dupe of Bodacious Bowser from RG, Rose Girls. Bodacious Bowser is one of my favorite apple bakery blends of any vendor, and it's probably one of my top blends from Rose Girls. Bodacious Bowser, and the reason why I am trying to use this is because the Fuji apple, that is such a damn good apple oil. It almost has a creamy bakery vibe to it as an apple blend, an apple oil, I should say. And it smells exactly the same as the one that Jenny puts in her Bodacious Bowser, although she calls hers green apple. It smells the same to me, to my nose. So this one, I'll tell you, that Fuji apple is where it's at. That's such a good oil. This smells almost about, I'd say about 93% Bodacious Bowser. Jenny's has a little bit more of a creamier, rich note. This, it's there, but I have to warm this because I know that comes alive with Rose Girls blend. I got to see how this warms, but I think this is going to be a winner. Man, that Fuji apple oil is good. Fuji apple. If you haven't tried it, give it a chance. It's a really good one. Okay, next. I got this one from my husband, and I named it Overgrown Toddler, because sometimes the man's an overgrown toddler. He really is sometimes. So this one is Dreamsicle, orange juice, orange chiffon cake, and Fruit Loops. So it's been a minute since I've done a Fruit Loops blend, and I was thinking I really don't have a lot of Fruit Loops in my collection, so I'm gonna have to get another Fruit Loops blend on this next batch of customs I'm working on. That's just me. So what I like to do with my Fruit Loops is, you know, there's lemon, there's lime, there's orange, there's cherry, there's I don't know what other fruits in Fruit Loops, but I like to pick an oil that I have a couple of that I can kind of just bring out that in Fruit Loops. So in this case, I chose orange. Dreamsicle is a really good oil. It's just like a dreamsicle. It's that orange and vanilla ice cream concoction. I'm looking for sugar-free dreamsicles in the store, actually. I haven't been able to find them yet, and I'm kind of sad because I want a dreamsicle. The next, orange juice. Orange juice just has a nice, bright vibrancy to it. It's rich. It almost smells like you're just opening a bottle of Tropicana or Simply Orange or whatever you drink. I like Florida's Natural myself. It smells fresh like that. And the orange chiffon cake is nice, rich, creamy orange bakery. And then Fruit Loops is Fruit Loops. So this one is so good. You have the Fruit Loops, it's there, but you also have this beautiful, just creamy orange just taking the forefront. This reminds me of another vendor, Destination Wax. Her orange Fruit Loops is Fruit Loops with extra orange. So that's basically what I was doing with this, because I love a good orange, and orange is hard to me to get it to smell right. I don't always like all orange blends, but these together is a creamy masterpiece, in my opinion. Next. Oh, man. Okay, Tristan Ludlow. Tristan Ludlow is a character from one of my favorite Brad Pitt movies, Legends of the Fall. Legends of the Fall. Okay. I have a particular set of movies that I emotionally can't handle watching very often or ever again. Number one on that list is Bridges of Madison County. I don't care how many times I've seen that movie, and I've seen it many times. I absolutely sob, and it ruins my entire day. If you've seen that movie, you probably know what part I'm talking about. Towards the end, when they're in the car at the stoplight, that just tears me apart. Tears me apart every time. That's her best role, in my opinion. And Clint Eastwood, sorry. Clint Eastwood's best role too, in my opinion. So Tristan Ludlow is part of Legends of the Fall. Legends of the Fall is a movie that is so good. It's about three brothers who all at different times, and a couple at the same time, fall in love with the same woman. There's war, their father, Anthony Hopkins. I mean, the whole movie is just amazing. And there's a couple people I've talked to about it because I haven't watched it for a long time. And then I noticed it was on Netflix and it was going away. I think Marty and I watched it back in February. And that scene at the end where they come for Brad Pitt, if you know what I'm talking about, if you've seen the movie, that whole scene where everything just comes together, and the music, the soundtrack, the music is just, I mean, the composer, I think it's the same man who did Braveheart, so it has that type of music. That whole, it's just, I didn't remember how much that made me cry until I was watching it again. I'm just sitting there sobbing, and Marty's looking at me like, what? I'm like, I don't want to say anything, and in case some of you guys haven't seen it, but just, it hits you right in the heart or the stomach. And that's a movie I can't watch very often, but I listen to the soundtrack. The music is absolutely gorgeous. So Tristan is Brad Pitt's character. This is Lord of the Mer People. Lord of the Mer People is a kind of, it's kind of along the lines of Aquaman, Sea Munchies, Mermaid Munchies, Sea Salt Princess, kind of like that vibe. And I chose to blend tonka bean and roasted pine cones because I thought, hey, why not? So what I was doing with this is, of course, I had Brad Pitt in mind. And The Lord of the Mer people blends so beautifully with the pine cones and the tonka bean. I wanted this to be almost like a clean, fresh, masculine scent that isn't cologne. This is not cologne. This is just woodsy masculinity, sexiness, which is Brad Pitt to me. So, and Tristan Ludlow, oh my God, his character, that's when Brad has his long hair, and it's in the mid 90s. I think it's 94, somewhere around there. And it's one of his best roles. I mean, that's when he was just on fire, in my opinion. I mean, he doesn't have very many bad movies. And another one that I can't watch is Meet Joe Black, another Brad Pitt movie. Meet Joe Black, no thank you. Another Anthony Hopkins Brad Pitt movie. I can't watch that movie. No, just because it just right in the heart, too much. When I was younger, I used to be able to tolerate those movies, but now as I'm older, I can't watch. I said Bridges, Legends of the Fall is on just a few times. Out of Africa, another Meryl Streep movie. Meryl Streep and Robert Redford, my favorite old man. Love Robert Redford. Robert Redford, my favorite movie of Robert Redford's is Indecent Proposal. And then Out of Africa. Indecent Proposal, John, what's his last name? I can't remember his last name in that movie, but his first name's John. And it's Demi Moore and Woody Harrelson. And the soundtrack is gorgeous, beautiful to that too. I was just listening to it the other day. I put my headphones on at work and I listened to my 90s music and my soundtracks. And it's just it's gorgeous. Just it's piano and strings and everything that speaks to my heart and my soul. So this next one is not one that is a brainchild of mine. This is one that I discovered on Pie Day. This is lavender blueberry pie crust. Loving lavender and blueberry together. Somebody requested this blend for Pie Day, and I saw it. I'm like, man, I'm going to try that because lavender and blueberry, you wouldn't think, but it works. Pie crust just creams everything up, makes everything a little bit better, in my opinion. So this one, the lavender is, I don't know what lavender this is, if it's sweet or herbal, but it's right there in the forefront. And then the blueberry and the pie crust are in the background. But I know that blueberry loves to wake up a little bit more when it's heated. So I'm really looking forward to how these play. I think what I'll do is I'll cut my lavender blueberry pie crust pie first, and then I'll save this for down the road. Love that one. So good. This next one is called Sunflower. And this blend is a dupe of a Glitterati blend that I got. I think it's named, I think it's Shaggy. It's one of the Scooby-Doo blends of Janine's. And why I named it Sunflower is I love Post Malone. I love Sunflower. And Sunflower, the radio version and that version is great. But my favorite version of Sunflower, there is a series on YouTube called Tiny Desk Concerts. And I'm telling just about everybody I can about Tiny Desk Concerts because it's been around. It's put on by NPR Radio. It's been around for over a decade. And they have everybody under the sun. Taylor Swift's done one. The Isley Brothers done one. Usher's done it. Dave Matthews, another fantastic one. They go and they're in this tiny little desk office setting, and they play with, either, like, for example, Dave Matthews, he's just him and his guitar. That's it. Post Malone's, I don't know why it was recommended to me one day, probably because I went through a period a couple of months ago where I was obsessed with Post Malone's music. After he did the Super Bowl and he sang America the Beautiful, I really started listening to his music again. I mean, I hear it on the radio, but just really listening to it, to listen to the words. And the Tiny Desk Concert is usually 4 songs, a set of 3 to 5 songs, depending on the artist. Post does Sunflower, I Fall Apart, Circles, which is in here too, Circles, and Enough is Enough. Those are his 4 songs that he does. He does them with piano, violin, and guitar. And I did not know I needed to hear Sunflower that way. I didn't know I needed to hear Circles that way. And I Fall Apart's good too, but those two, just as someone who play the piano in my youth. Music speaks to me. Music connects me to our planet, to our universe, to our creator. And last night here, we were able to see the northern lights here in Utah. And I never thought in my life, other than being up in the northern part of Canada or being in Alaska, would I ever get to see the northern lights. And I was out running around my neighborhood at 1:30 in the morning last night, just snapping pictures, and I was just in awe. And I felt that connection. So music is really easy for me. And if you've watched some of my mental health videos, especially the one I did last year when I talked about losing my aunt and music and such, it's such a profound part of my life. I will always have music in my life. I always use music to ground me. And I kind of encourage others to do that as well, because you never know. You never know. YouTube, what would we do without it? Because it gives us so much. And I would never have thought to listen or even look for Tiny Desk concerts until it recommended it to me. And now I have something I listen to all the time. So, back to wax. Sunflower. This is lavender, coconut, Palo Santo, and marshmallow fluff. Like I said, I think this one is Shaggy from Glitterati. So this one, you would think lavender and coconut and Palo Santo. Miss Janine is she's a scent blend queen. She really is, because with this you get a beautiful balance of lavender, coconut, and Palo Santo. The mallow fluff is just there to sweeten it up a little bit. But this, I love this blend. I love all of these. Like I said, I've had a lot of these. And even though I've only warmed Janine's version, I know that will be fantastic, because Jen has a fantastic lavender oil. Her coconut, I don't know what coconut she used, but it doesn't smell tropical. It's more of a creamy coconut, but not as creamy as some of the creamy coconut blends that Jen offers. Sunflower. Next. This one I called Adolescence. And this one is bubblegum and Fruit Loops. I am not a bubblegum oil person, but sometimes it hits the spot. So I thought, bubblegum, it's not an oil that's used overly, I shouldn't say overly. It's not a blend or an oil that's used a lot. But it needs to, because it's got, when we were in Island Park, Idaho, Yellowstone, it's all kind of the same thing up there. We went to this ice cream shop. Fantastic ice cream. I got huckleberry, which they're known for up there. Huckleberry. We can get huckleberry ice cream here too. Huckleberry and pralines and cream. My husband got bubblegum ice cream because he had really good memories of eating bubblegum ice cream at the local pharmacy where his sister worked, scooping ice cream in the pharmacy. Bubblegum ice cream. And I tasted it, and it's okay. You can't quite describe what flavor it is, though. What flavor really is bubblegum? But why I chose to blend bubblegum and Fruit Loops is because another vendor actually had it and, offered it as she made a mistake and didn't mean to blend those two together, but said it smelled really great. I bought it and I smelled it and I thought, man, that bubble gum really brings out something extra in the Fruit Loops. So this is Fruit Loops with a little bit of something that your brain really doesn't. I don't pick up bubble gum in this because the Fruit Loops is pretty strong. It's a strong oil. But that bubble gum, I know when I warm this up. But bubble gum is a sleeper. He likes the heat. I had actually another Glitterati blend. I had bubblegum cupcakes from Janine. And I absolutely love that. And up until that point, I would never, if I wouldn't have had that chunk from a mystery box of Glitterati, I would never have thought I want to try bubblegum and wax, because I don't like bubblegum flavor. It's not for me. I certainly don't like bubblegum ice cream. I don't like bubblegum flavored stuff. Not bubblegum flavored toothpaste at the dentist. No. But it works with Fruit Loops. It does. Next, I named this one Unapologetic. because I live my life unapologetically me. And I am what you get. I am who I am, and I love myself. And, I try to live the best life I can every day, help those around me, and be just the best person I can be. And that's why I say I'm unapologetic, because, we aren't going to like everybody that we run across in our lives, and we're not meant to. And they're not always going to like you. And in my younger days, I used to be hurt by that. I wanted everybody to like me, but that's really not how it works in life. And when you get to a point where you stop trying to, keep up with the Kardashians, and just try to have competition with everything and everyone around you, it's a liberating feeling. So, unapologetic. This one is Love's Baby Soft, Fresh Cut Roses, and Madagascar Vanilla. I had this blend made by another vendor in body care, Scandalous Cosmetics, owned by Stacy Langston in Ohio. And she had her Wet Dreams Body Boutique, which she has now rebranded to be exclusively just Scandalous Cosmetics. When she originally opened that up, she thought it was going to be just a customs company, just a custom side. So she reached out to me and offered, because she knew I had a channel and did videos, and she sent me 5 custom items of my choosing and my blend choices. And I picked this blend here to do. And she messaged me. She said, I was making that one when my mom was over, and my mom said, I need more of that. That is so good. And I knew I had a winner, because Madagascar Vanilla it's hard to differentiate vanillas sometimes. Madagascar Vanilla is a little bit richer. It's a vanilla that's, only in Madagascar, obviously. It's a different, richer vanilla to my nose. Back in the day, Bath and Body Works had Madagascar Vanilla, but it's in the vault, and it's probably not going to come back. I don't say so for sure, but probably not, because it hasn't in quite a long time, just like my exotic coconut. But Love's Baby Soft, it's that perfume from the 80s and 90s that I think every girl out there had tried. It's just baby powder, and it has a femininity to it. Roses, because I love fresh cut roses. I had a couple of rose blends last customs. If you watch that video. I love rose, and I'll probably have rose again. I love roses. Roses just make me feel beautiful. It does, just smelling a rose. And then the Madagascar Vanilla, I added in there to give a little bit of sweetness, but it wasn't going to take it bakery. It wasn't going to take it vanilla extract. It's just going to give a little bit of sophisticated vanilla to it. And I'm in love with this blend. It's a beautiful, powdery, fresh cut rose with a little bit of vanilla. I love this blend. It's gorgeous. And even if I didn't create this blend and I would have tried it and somebody else did it, I would love it just as much. It takes I put a lot of time and quality time, I should say, in creating my customs, because, we're paying good money for our stuff. I want to have blends that just speak to me and I absolutely love. And so that's this blend right here. Oh, so good. Okay. It is now raining outside. I got another loaf of grassy pants. That's part of my ready to ship. Okay. This next one. This one is called Marilyn. Marilyn is my aunt who passed last year. Her name was Marilyn. And even though there's nothing in this scent that she really liked, or, that reminds me of Marilyn Monroe, I just wanted to name it Marilyn, because it's always a good reminder to see her name, because I don't know any other Marilyns in my life, and I'll never get a card from her in the mail again. I'll never see her handwriting, new handwriting again. And it's just nice to see Marilyn. So this is Pink Frosted Cake, Pizzelles, Strawberry Pound Cake, Sweet Cream, and cream cheese frosting. This one was a little bit of a take on a blend I got from Everything Vice called the Queen's Gambit with SPC. So I wanted to I knew all of these oils are just powerhouses with Jen. So I thought, let's get another loaf of this because it's not going to be the same as Everything Vice, of course, but it's going to be close. So this one, it has my lover in here, Pink Frosted Cake. I love Pink Frosted Cake. Pink Frosted Cake, I'm getting a little bit of sweet cream cheese frosting. This one warms, these oils, they need a little bit of heat to really speak to you. It smells, it's not too strong on cold, but Pink Frosted Cake is so creamy in this, and Pink Frosted Cake is a powerhouse. It blows you out of the water, at least in my home. Sweet cream, I love the sweet cream. I love the cream cheese frosting. This is just a rich, heavy bakery strawberry blend. Maryland. Okay, next. This blend is called Melanie Hamilton. Melanie Hamilton, I watched Gone with the Wind. So a couple of my blends, this one and a couple more, are Gone with the Wind characters. Gone with the Wind, people either like it or they don't like it. Gone with the Wind was one of the very first Hollywood movies, old Hollywood movies I ever watched. It would come on TV on a Sunday on like TNT or TBS, and it's 3.5 hours long for the most part, and it would be on TV for 5 hours, and I would watch it on Sundays, and I absolutely loved Gone with the Wind. I had the book. I haven't read it yet because it's about this thick, but that's something that I want to do before I die. So Melanie Hamilton, of course, is the best. She's the best character in the whole entire film, in my opinion. She is married to Ashley Hamilton, who Scarlett is in love with Ashley, and he doesn't really love her back like that. So Melanie, this blend is lavender, boom boom, fresh picked strawberries, and boardwalk marshmallow clouds. So I'm having a moment with my boardwalk marshmallow clouds, just like I am with my pine cone. So I've had lavender and fresh picked strawberry before. Tried and true, great. I wanted to add Boom Boom to it because I love what Boom Boom does with fruit and lavender. It's just, it makes it even more irresistible in my opinion. And then I couple that with the Boardwalk Marshmallow Clouds, which is just pretty, beautiful marshmallow fragrance. So this one, what you can really smell in this, you can really smell the Boardwalk Marshmallow Clouds, the strawberry, and in the back of the sniff, you can get a little bit of the Boom Boom. The lavender I can't quite smell in here right now, but this is just creamy, rich Boardwalk Marshmallow Clouds and Boom Boom. And just reminded me of, not Melanie Hamilton, but it's what I named that one. Okay, this next one is named Tarzan Boy. Tarzan Boy, that is something from the blanket I have on my bed flying. There's a song from the 80s. Do 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 do. Tarzan Boy. And I love my 80s music too. So, needless to say, that's where this name came from. This is one I've had before. This is one of Jen's blends. This is watermelon, swimming pool, and sea minerals. Yes. Don't knock it till you try it. It's really good. This one, swimming pool. This smells like, sometimes if you have an indoor pool, you're just knocked in the face with chlorine. When you have an outdoor pool, you get in the pool, you swim around, you get out, and you kind of smell your bathing suit after you have chlorine in it. And it has that chlorine creaminess to it. That's what this smells like, but add some watermelon into it and a little bit of sea salt. That's what this smells like to me. I love this blend. I have this in scoops, I have this in chunks from last year, and I have this in this one. I will never hesitate buying this blend. It's just summertime, and it reminds me of being young without any worries other than it's raining outside now. Tests and, the mean kids at school. So, okay. Scarlet. This one is called Scarlet O'Hara. I don't have to say who she is and where she's from. This is sugared violet petals, sugar cookie dough, and cookie dough. So I love sugared violet petals, and this is another one that was inspired by Miss Janine from Glitterati. Her violet and sugar cookies is phenomenal. So I thought, let's get Jen's take on it. But I didn't just do sugar cookies. I absolutely adore the sugar cookie dough oil. I think it's a little bit richer to me. Not as sweet as the sugar cookie. It's sweet, but it's got a little bit more richness to it. This one has just violet blends so well with bakery. It really does. It just makes it a beautiful creaminess. This is slightly similar, I should say, to blackberry sugared violets. You still have the violet there. This is just sugared violet petals versus the blackberry added into it. So it doesn't have that fruity component to it. But this is so rich and nice and just it's a great diversion from heavy bakery. It gives a little bit of a different vibe on it, and I love that. I love that. You know, I respect other vendors out there, and I love to try to get Jen's take on as many of them as I can. That's another one for my ready to ship. This one is Man Catcher Brownies. Man Catcher Brownies. This is actually a real recipe I have. It's the best brownies I make, and I send them to my dad every year. He loves brownies. He's a brownie man. This is it's a real recipe. This is brownie batter, sea salt caramel, toasted coconut, pretzel, and marshmallow fluff. The only difference is I don't put pretzel in my brownies, although I could. It's one of those recipes you can put kind of a little bit of everything in it, but mainly it's a German chocolate cake mix, and you get the caramels in the bag and you unwrap them, melt that down. It's the German chocolate cake mix, pecans, caramel, coconut, marshmallows, and whatever else you want to put in it. Last year I did a batch with toasted coconut, I did a batch with non-toasted coconut, and I did one with, I put cherries in there because I thought, hey, why not? Man Catcher Brownies. I'm not a chocolate wax person except for brownie batter. Brownie batter is my best chocolate wax I have found. So this one, what I'm smelling in here, Jen has a really good sea salt caramel. Sea salt caramel, it's salty, it's creamy, it's rich. I mean, sea salt caramel coffee bean is just as simple as it gets, but it's so satisfying to me. It's really good. The toasted coconut in here, I get a little bit of it, but I'm really getting the pretzel. The pretzel comes out to me in this. Jen has a really good pretzel oil. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's a house oil that she has. I think I read that on her website. I'm not sure, but I absolutely love this because it is chocolate and caramel and coconut and just a bunch of fattening stuff right now. Not right now, a bunch of fattening stuff that I'm smelling right now. So, okay, next one. This is Circles. Circles, of course, is a Post Malone song. This one is Tam's Blend Cloud 9. This is one I had last time, and I added warm vanilla sugar to it last time, but I kept Tam's original blend this time. This is Blackberry Sugared Violets, Boom Boom, and Sweet on Paris. Sweet on Paris, that's another one I'm having a love affair with. Sweet on Paris and Boardwalk Marshmallow Clouds. So, this here is, it's much more rich, it's a much more rich violet scent. But what I'm getting in here is that Sweet on Paris just rises to the top in this blend. And I love it. The Boom Boom is here, but the Boom Boom is kind of in the back of the sniff. That creaminess of the Boom Boom is here. Ah, that's so good. So good. A lot of you had Cloud 9 because I think Tam gets this every time she gets customs. She's up for customs right now. She's probably going to have this one again if I had to make an educated guess. Maybe she won't. This next one is called The Remedy. This Remedy is a Pucifer song. Wait a minute. No, excuse me. Is it a Pucifer song? Yes, because it's not a perfect circle. It is a Maynard James Keenan, who is one of my favorite musicians. One of his projects, one of his bands is called Pucifer, and The Remedy is a song of theirs. We saw them, and we saw Success. I talked about it in my Chop and Chat. We saw a concert almost 3 weeks ago. It was Maynard's birthday, and they had two of his bands, A Perfect Circle and Pucifer, with Primus, which isn't my cup of tea, but I enjoyed every song, the whole concert. So this one is Amaretto, Cherries Jubilee, Almond, Vanilla Pound Cake, and Sweet Bakery Dough. I put everything in my handbag in this one. I have my almond, I have my amaretto, I have my cherry. So it's going to be that 1, 2, 3 wham punch of that cherry almond deliciousness. I wanted that. So then I blended it with Sweet Bakery Dough, which I absolutely love. I absolutely love Sweet Bakery Dough. It's so rich and good and sweet. And then the vanilla pound cake is just there for creamy density. So train's gonna go by. This one is so good. I like how Jen didn't let the amaretto and the cherry and the almond completely take over, because they will if you don't blend it very light-handed. I like that I get the richness of that batter from the Sweet Bakery Dough in the vanilla pound cake. I absolutely like this one. And those of you who are not necessarily cherry amaretto almond fans, you might like this, because this is such a blend. You could blend this very easily with something else, either a vanilla blender like Sugar Cakes or White Elephant Exchange, or you could even take it with Today is October 3rd and just, even tone that down a little bit more. But right now, I'm not getting too much of those amaretto cherry notes. That is the Remedy. Leanna's Lullaby. This one I didn't name or anything because it is what it is. Leanna's Lullaby. Johnson & Johnson's Bedtime Baby, Lavender and Chamomile. Jen has poured this a million times, it seems like. Leanna's Lullaby. I've got so much of this. I'm stocked up pretty well on that. Two more. Kenny and Dolly. Because Kenny and Dolly just go together, just like everything in this blend does. This is an absolute repeat from Pie Day, actually, and I actually had this in my last customs too. This is pumpkin pecan waffles, yellow cake, cream cheese frosting, zucchini bread, and pie crust. I love the hell out of this blend. It's so good. So good. So rich. And I love that the pie crust really comes out on this one. It just gives it a little extra bump into the heavy bakery department. I mean, this is 10,000 calories. I should have named this one 10,000 calories, because this one is it's fattening. It's delicious. I mean, if you're a bakery fan, most likely you've had any of these oils in here. And pumpkin pecan waffles, so good. And my last one is Rhett Butler. Mr. Clark Gable, Rhett Butler. Strawberry, roasted pine cones, marshmallow fireside, and tonka bean. I originally had this as strawberry, pine, roasted pine cones, and shaving cream. But I decided to take the shaving cream out because I thought, Rhett Butler, he is a man's man. He really is. But he's got a sweetness to him because he puts up with Scarlett's crap. So, this is a beautiful blend. It has the creamy woodsiness of the roasted pine cones. It has the strawberry sweetness to it. A little bit of smokiness from the marshmallow fireside. And tonka bean, I'm just adding in, even though tonka bean is very hard to describe what it actually smells like, I'm putting it in because it's in a lot of blends. It's in a lot of perfumes, I should say, and body care. And it just gives it a little bit of a, I don't want to call it an umami factor because that's, you know, mushrooms and food and stuff, but just, it gives a little bit of something to where if it's not there, you would miss it. So, I'm just going to quickly do my RTS loaves here. Love Affair, warm vanilla sugar, shortbread cookies, and zucchini bread. This one is super duper popular. It'll come back until she can't pour it anymore. This is just, it is one where the warm vanilla sugar and the shortcake cookies just run the show. Fantastic. Love that one. Next is, this is a dupe of the Marshmallow Fireside Roasted Pine Cone Pine Salty Sea Air. I don't have to talk about that one again. This is just strawberry zucchini bread, which can't have enough of this. I absolutely love strawberry zucchini bread. It is strong, it's creamy, it's rich, it's fruity, it's bakery, it's phenomenal. I've warmed this so many times. I've had that in so many different, it's fantastic in scoops. Strawberry kolaches. Strawberry kolaches is sweet strawberry glaze and flaky buttery pastries. This one has the richness of that kolaches. Kolaches is a little type of pastry that you can make savory or sweet. Jen baked kolaches with her grandmother, I think. I think that's when she found that oil and she told the story. But just put strawberry, just like strawberry pie filling and a really heavy bakery. That's what you have with that one. This one here is pumpkin pecan waffles, yellow cake, cream cheese frosting, and zucchini bread without the pie crust. And I'll tell you, as good as this one is, that pie crust just takes it to the next base in terms of yummy creaminess. Okay, next, another mint Oreo pie. Don't have to talk about that one. I don't know when that oil is going away. That's why I grabbed a couple. Another one of grassy pants. Can't have enough grassy pants. Dreamweaver, which everybody seems to be in love with Dreamweaver right now. It sells out in 10 seconds, it seems like. Lavender cream, sugar cookie dough, and bread. I mean, so simple, but so damn good. This is one of Jen's best blends, in my opinion. So good. Dreamweaver. I think, you know, as it gets closer to September, I'm going to do a top 10 best, my favorite blends from L3 as kind of a celebration of Jen's, you know, 11 years in business and everything she means to the wax community and every blend that has set my heart on fire, really. And this last one is Pistachio Gimme All the Carbs. Gimme All the Carbs was a customer creation contest winner last year around this time. I don't remember who. I should probably look and see who created this blend because it's a really good one. Fresh baked bread, zucchini bread, cinnamon sugar, and pretzel blended with pistachio. Gimme All the Carbs. It's great on its own. It's great blended. And that pistachio, it's all right with me. Okay, so that is my most recent batch of customs. I did my Scoopapalooza video, my customs, my RTS is done. Now I have last Friday's RTS that was delivered today, so I'll get to that sometime this week. So everybody, thank you so much for watching if you made it this far. I really thoroughly enjoy when it's my time to do customs with any vendor, and I really have a fun time with L3 and Jen. And I really love to see all of your posts in the Facebook group, and I've really had a fun time being the moderator admin in that group for, I think it's been a year or 2 years or something like that. I don't really remember how long it's been, but we have a lot of fun, and I love connecting with all of you. So happy Saturday night, everybody. Saturday, 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 like Elton John. And have a beautiful Sunday and a week ahead. And I'll see you soon.